I definitely used drugs as an escape from the death issue, but I also used the death issue to do drugs.
The funeral in Westwood was at a church.
That night, I discovered if I ingest something, it's gonna make pain better. I picked up a joint and smoked it and realized that it took pain away. I became a full-blown drug addict from that night on.
Dave is a scary drug addict. When he goes for death.
There was also several times where Dave OD'd and died.
The truth is that I was just trying to find an escape from all the trauma that I had gone through. And ultimately, all those things did was compound the trauma and make my life much, much worse.
Now, Connie Navarro's killer, John Riccardi, was on the run for 8 years before he was finally caught by authorities. Take a look.
On January 4th, they took him down.
Did you do it?
No, darling, I didn't do it.
Hedonistic, arrogant, vain. I've now given you adjectives that define John Riccardi. He is a classic stalker.
I sat down at the table.
And to show how mean-spirited the defendant is, he takes the body, he's going to hide it in the linen cabinet, and he takes the pillow, sticks it over her face, and snuffs out her last breath of life.
Guilty of the crime of murder of a human being, Constance Navarro. Guilty of the crime of murder of a human being, Susan Jory. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, herein fix the penalty to be imposed on the defendant, John Alexander Riccardi, to be death.
There it is, bro.
My intention to see Riccardi is, in my mind, the last step in basically turning this thing inside out. You know, sometimes I don't even know why I'm going to see this in prison. But I know that an answer will be revealed. Riccardi let my mom off the hook, really. Because if he wanted to hurt her, he should have taken me out. That would have made her suffer. Dude, that was heavy. They bring him in. He looks at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" I remember sitting there thinking, why am I not lunging across and trying to strangle this guy?
Wow. So you walked in there and saw him?
Yeah, we went to San Quentin, and I just went in to visit him, just to look him in the eye and walk out of the prison and leave him there. There was something truly empowering about that.
Yeah. You and Robin very much have in common wanting people to recognize, you know that she works in domestic violence, I know, and you know, both of you talk a lot about, first off, admitting to yourself and saying, this is domestic violence. This is not okay.
It's really hard because there's a lot of shame attached to it.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't want to admit that they've allowed themselves to be in a volatile situation like this.
You know, Robin, you hear it from the women in the shelters all the time. Once they admit it, then that's the first step in making a plan, right?
That's exactly right. And sadly, victims are told by their abusers that it's their fault, and they're told that so much that they do become believers of that. And sadly, it takes them a long time to believe that it's not their fault, that they deserve better.
Your mom was killed when she broke up.
Yeah.
It's called separation assault. There are more serious injuries and murders in the 2 or 3 weeks after breaking up from an abuser than any other time in the relationship. That is the most dangerous time, when you break up and get away from your abuser, because they panic.
It makes so much sense because, like I said, I wasn't really aware of a whole lot of violent actions in the house. I knew that there was an energy, I knew that there were problems, but yeah, this was exactly what you're talking about, is at that moment of you know, disconnect, this guy couldn't handle rejection.